Right, let's move on and talk next about Mutual and Federal. This one I think has got something in the region of an 8 or 9% market share. Maybe that's declined. It's of course part of Old Mutual. So we're going to talk about Old Mutual itself, of course, the Cape Town based, now London moving giant. Well, to be fair, they're also moving head office people into the Johannesburg area. It's a global giant in insurance, principally life insurance, as well as investments, and it has its big stake in Nedbank as well. So it really is one of these global titans. Mutual and Federal, of course, is the reason we're talking about it today. But the market cap of the combined overall international group is 194 billion rands. Price earnings ratio of 14.88, dividend yield of 4.41. And moving into a new management environment with Bruce Hemphill taking over from Julian Roberts. How's your feeling with regard to Old Mutual's international business and then coming back to the small local piece?
I think people are excited about the international business, the wealth management business in the UK, and slowly but surely getting out of the US asset management business, which they listed last year and are selling off portions every now and then. So I think the group has got a refocus on Africa, which is correct. And it's quite exciting to see what they're going to do with their capital they extract out of the US and employ into Africa.
Yeah. And with regard to that, obviously they have a huge business here, and then they've added it by buying in East and West Africa into those markets. And they're led by their sort of wealth aggregation, because of course there's no such thing as sort of high net worth clients only focusing on one element. They're now attempting to spread it across the mix. Nedbank, anything to say about its Nedbank stake? Anything? They just seem happy enough to hold the stake that they do?
Yes, for a long time there was speculation they might sell it. HSBC had a look at the books in Nedbank. It didn't happen. And after that, they reconfirmed that Nedbank is a strategic asset for them. They are working together with Nedbank to look for synergies between the Old Mutual Group and Nedbank, and together with EcoBank in the rest of Africa. So I don't see any huge changes to the current shareholding structure of Nedbank within the Old Mutual Group.
Okay, and then with regard to Old Mutual, do you sense that with regard to Mutual and Federal that they are a market leader, or do you get the feeling that maybe Mutual and Federal sort of slipped a bit? I mean, when it was still publishing its results in detail, they didn't look that great, but that was, to be fair, a few years back.
Correct. I think it was about 7 years ago that Old Mutual delisted Mutual and Federal, bought out minorities. At that point in time, Mutual and Federal was the second biggest insurer, not too far behind Santam, but that key point I made earlier of Santam creating MyWay and that important space of competing with themselves, cannibalizing themselves, and being confident enough to be able to do that. Mutual and Federal did not do that. They tried to create iWise, it didn't quite work, so they've lost a lot of market share, and today it only contributes about 2% of the profits of the Old Mutual Group.
Okay, good. The chart of Old Mutual will appear here in a minute. You can see that it's gone all the way up over the last few years. It peaked through the 30 rands a share mark. Still looks good. Well liked in London because of its emerging market footprint. No reason to buy them because of your Mutual and Federal views, but are you hot on Old Mutual, the parent group, or not?
It does look very cheap at the moment. I think their refocus on Africa is good. I think Mutual and Federal play an important role in that because of the fact that short-term insurance probably has a bigger addressable market right now in Africa compared to long-term insurance. So on the Old Mutual Group, I would say that hot.
Hot, good. All right, we'll stick with that.